You are listening to the Paranormal Chronicles radio show. Here is your host, paranormal researcher and author of the best-selling A Most Haunted House, Gavin Lee Davis.
Welcome, my name is G L Davies, author of the #1 bestseller Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest and founder of the Pembrokeshire-based ParanormalChronicles.com. Welcome to our series as we explore all things supernatural and spiritual. Our series is kindly sponsored by sixth-books.com. Sixth Books is an amazing world of books on the supernatural and the spiritual. Visit sixth-books.com today and explore an incredible world of paranormal knowledge. Our Pembrokeshire-centric episodes in this series are brought to you by Victoria Bookshop in Haverfordwest. If you're looking for signed copies of Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest, then contact Victoria Bookshop. They can get a signed copy to you. Support local. Thank you to all our new followers. Remember to follow this series for your chance to win amazing sixth-books.com titles in our monthly followers draw. If you enjoy this episode, then know we've already recorded more to be uploaded soon. Download our archive for truly terrifying and paranormal witness recordings, interviews and features exclusive to this series. We are all chiller and no filler on tonight's show. What ghosts haunt our coast? Are our myths actually our history? Did angels battle pirates right here in Pembrokeshire? Last month I presented a look at Clay Lane in Haverfordwest and explored its multitude of strange activity, its ghosts, its beasts and strange lights. And over 2,500 people listened to it on the first day, along with over 200 downloads. We received over 40 emails asking for more, so here we are. St Govans Chapel in Pembrokeshire is an incredible ancient place on the Pembrokeshire Coast that defies all logic on its presence there. The sea and coastline is as dangerous as it is beautiful, and in this episode we will explore from the location its myths, legends and ghosts. If you have a story to share, an experience or theory, then contact us through Facebook or Instagram as The Paranormal Chronicles, on Twitter at Parachron, or email paranormalchronicles@aol.com. On with the show. We at the Paranormal Chronicles have always had the sense that we are blessed to be based in this beautiful and ancient land that is Pembrokeshire in West Wales. And we feel it is our duty to endeavour to try and share with you our investigations and adventures. During Easter this year we braved the wind and waves that battered the coast of Pembrokeshire to bring you closer to some ancient myths and legends that have been deeply interwoven into the fabric that is the history of West Wales. We were here to visit the spectacularly ancient and mysterious St Govans Chapel near Pembroke. This incredible location is marinated in folklore and legend, and with the swelling and angry sea crashing along the coast, it was a perfect day to explore these ancient mysteries. Brave cliffs and rock-strewn coves to bring you closer to the location. We believe it is our responsibility, wherever you are in the world, to bring the area to life for you. And no matter where in the world you reside, that you are here with us right now, companions sharing our adventure. We want you to feel the energy and power as the sea crashed into the ancient coastline, to feel the wind and its chill as it howled a furious song. Join us as we explore the abundance of mystery that resides here at St Govans. The ancient chapel looks as if it's been carved from the cliff face, grey and solid. The chapel has stood here for over 1,500 years. As you stand here, you get the sense that the place is timeless, that what you see today was the same as when the chapel was constructed all those centuries before. We climb further into the rocks, gain a better vantage to capture some great shots of the chapel and the sea. However, it all makes you feel insignificant. Trivial and small matters simply vanish as you watch the sea rise and crash in deafening booms against the rugged coast. You ponder the power of the earth and how easy it would be to swept away and battered against the rocks, fighting for that final breath. In a location like this, you realise how precious but fragile life is, and that every day is a new adventure to be valued and appreciated. St Govans is situated on the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park and is near the town of Pembroke. The chapel was home to a 6th century hermit and monk called Govan. It is said that marauding pirates saw an opportunity to kidnap Govan and hold him for a large ransom from the monastery. While on their mission to capture the man of peace and God, he managed to escape, and a rock incredibly opened up by the chapel, just large enough for him to hide in, so he could escape the sea dogs. The pirates were befuddled to where about the hermit was, and when they left, the rock opened up as miraculously as it had closed, and out emerged, safe and unharmed, Govan. The rock had saved him. Govan was said to be so appalled and guilt-ridden by his cowardice that he never left the place and became a watchman for the area, to warn the parishioners of the Bosheston area of unwelcome pirate activity. But poor Govan had further problems with the pirates when they stole his prized silver bell. Quite a prize for the scoundrels of the sea. Again, Govan felt ashamed at his incompetence, and he prayed with all his will and might that God help him, and help he did receive. Angels were said to have appeared and recovered the bell, and the bell was placed inside a rock for safekeeping. Govan would then tap the rock, and a note 1,000 times that of an ordinary bell would be heard. An altar has been carved into the rock for pilgrims to the area to praise. Our pirate story does not end there. It may be part of something incredibly chilling and debased that we will discuss in our ghost part of this episode. St. Govan died in 568 AD, and his remains placed under the altar so he could stick to his word of protecting the parish. In the chapel you can see a fissure in the wall which is the supposed location of the rock that saved him, and in the rock is rib-like indentations, said to be the imprint of Govan's ribs as a rock enclosed him. The chapel is damp and cold with small windows carved into its sides. People have claimed to see faces and events in the walls of the chapel. The chapel well is said to cure eye complaints, skin disease and rheumatic tendencies. So if you suffer greatly from these maladies, then a pilgrimage to this beautiful and ancient spot would be highly recommended. Maybe you will experience your own miracle. The steps leading down to the chapel are also said to have a magical element that presides over them, and that no mortal is said to be able to count the steps. On 2 attempts our count was 76 and then 72. And when we asked some friendly Russian tourists if they would mind helping us, they counted 74 and 77. Is it that we just lose count? Perhaps some of the smaller uneven steps are counted twice or not at all. Maybe there's something unearthly at work here. If you ever count them, then please tell us what number you came to. There are ghosts here too. We will be right back after these important messages.
Hi there, my name is Claire Waters and I would like to invite you on an incredible journey. I have written a book based on my personal experiences called Raising Faith, a true story of raising a child's psychic medium. It's my family's extraordinary experiences with our young daughter's ability to communicate with spirits and the inspirational lessons learned on our journey. Raising Faith is currently available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle and wherever books are sold. Join me on this beautiful and incredible adventure. For more information on Raising Faith, visit my website, raisingfaith.co.uk, or my Facebook page, Raising Faith Book. See you there.
Sixth Books will take you to other worlds, haunt you, open your mind, and push you far beyond the veil of the unknown. Sixth Books is a leading publisher of books on the body, mind and spirit, the paranormal, consciousness, ancient wisdom, and the afterlife. Explore today, learn today, open your mind today, read today. Visit sixth-books.com today. The world as you know it is about to change.
Do you wish for more paranormal and spiritual content? The Paranormal Chronicles magazine is a free digital magazine crammed with the very best in paranormal and spiritual articles and features. No sign up, no subscription, just free reading and knowledge for you. Read today at www.theparanormalchronicles.com/magazine.
The international chart-topping, haunted horror of Haverfordwest has been described as terrifyingly real, a must-read, shocking and chilling brilliance, genuinely worrying, utterly frightening. Don't read before bed. Described as one of the spookiest writers out there, best-selling author G L Davies presents Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest, the true paranormal account that is shocking the world. Dare you enter? Dare you read? Haunted
Horror of Haverfordwest is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, and wherever books are sold. Pray you never have to live there.
The couple contacted the Paranormal Chronicles in August 2014, exclusively reporting this terrifying event. The couple that have asked to remain anonymous are at the stunning and ancient location of St. Govans. They hope to capture stunning footage and photographs of the tail end of Hurricane Bertha. Bertha was smashing its way into the south of Wales on the weekend of the 9th and 10th of August 2014. They claim that while on the wind-battered cliffs they heard children and screaming and saw several strange lights and believe that someone was in need of assistance. After nearly 20 minutes of pursuing the children, they were led to a cave while the sea was dangerously close and violent. This is the actual account as reported to the Paranormal Chronicles by the gentleman witness. We decided it would be a fantastic location to drive down to and get some cool pictures of the storm. We were surprised that we could get to the chapel. We expected it to be closed due to the weather conditions. We got there and it was around 9 in the evening. It was rough as you like and pretty treacherous. The clouds were speeding past the moon, which gave the place a fantastic look. We ventured down to the chapel and took some pictures. It was then when we headed up. It can't have been more than 10 minutes, but we heard a scream. My partner said it might be the wind or a bird, but when we heard it again, and this time it was much closer, we took action and headed up the steps back to the car park to see if there was anyone there. We heard the scream again from our right towards the old military barracks, and we headed over. It was so windy and the light was not so good, and we had to hold on to each other just to walk at times. A little ahead of us we saw a white light, really briefly, and the sound of a scream. We passed the barracks and headed left through the gorse, and it was less sheltered from the wind there. We could have sworn we heard what sounded like children running around us and laughing around us. Maybe some holidaymaker kids playing tricks on us. It is so isolated down there. We heard the scream and a gleam of light ahead of us. There is a small cove down there and the sea was crashing onto the rocks. There is a cave to the right hand side and a quick flash of light, more like a white glow to be honest. I'll admit it was a stupid thing to make my way to the cave, but we were convinced that there was someone in distress in there. As I approached the cave, I clearly heard a high-pitched shout or scream from in there, and as I headed in, I thought I heard a child crying and sobbing. The cave was a dead end, and the sea was nearly up to my waist. I felt around under the water, half expecting to find someone, but there was nothing. I stayed as long as I could with my pocket torch, but though this is crazy, I thought I was going to die in there. I headed back, and I did think I would not make it as the waves crashed at the entrance of the cave. I got back to the top of the cove and my partner and I debated calling the Coast Guard, but there was nothing there. I was so shaken up. I thought it might have been the wind howling that made us think it was someone, but we both saw the lights. We definitely saw the lights. We walked back to the car and there was no incidents on the way back. I was cold and wet and confused and so tempted to call the police because what if there was someone out there in danger? I did some research and came across your website and thought I would get in touch as you'd written about the area before. At the Paranormal Chronicles we were delighted that they had contacted us and relieved that they were unharmed. We'd investigated some of the myths and legends at St. Govans, but this was something we'd not heard of before. Ghost lights are common on the cliffs of Pembrokeshire from the days of old when smuggling was common practice, but this was something new. We spoke to a retired teacher who has a penchant for history and whom often advises us here at the Paranormal Chronicles on the validity of the evidence we present in relation to times, places and facts of our accounts. He is and always will be sceptical on the subject of the paranormal, but his archive of information is a godsend. He said the only thing he could think of what could link the children to St. Govans was back in the day when Govan himself was having ongoing issues with pirates and they stole his prize silver bell. Now, our sources did say the story did not end there, as some of the pirates were so infuriated with Govan that they kidnapped some of the children from the local Boshiston parish and chained them up in a cave near the chapel itself, having given Govan the ultimatum of handing over the bell in return for the children. It was an impossible trade due to the bell no longer taking a physical form, and it is said that the chained children drowned. The pirates were stubborn in their resolve in their ongoing feud with Govan, and the children paid with their lives. Could it be that the children's souls still wander the cliffs and coves of St. Govans? Perhaps they feel betrayed and jilted by the negligence of Govan and the village elders for allowing them to suffer a cold and terrifying maniacal extermination at the hands of the ruthless and greedy pirates. Do they haunt the cliffside looking to exact revenge on the unsuspecting? Many ghostly lights have been said to be seen on the cliffs in the area. Lights like lanterns swaying in the wind, perhaps the spirits of treacherous folk trying to make unsuspecting ships crash against the rocks with their cargo, or maybe the ghost lights of long-lost smugglers rendezvousing in the chilled blackness of the night. Perhaps the saddest of all is the story of an elderly couple. I think this is just a story, but it's a sad story nonetheless. It is said that a couple grew old and in love, and their lives were as entwined as night and day. Childless, they depended greatly on each other and never left each other's side. St. Govans Chapel was their favourite spot for a Sunday drive, and even into their 70s they would brave the rocks and waves and sit against the cliff and sit there, holding each other, keeping each other warm and safe. Their love was pure and unconditional, but sadly the wife took ill and was tragically diagnosed that she had terminal cancer. She died not long after. Heartbroken and alone, the man was lost. Her last wishes to him that he were to enjoy life and carry on until the day they would one day be back together, young and healthy in a place of love and light, their love strong and unbreakable. It is said that he visited the spot every Sunday for a year, could be seen sat alone staring into the sea. Then one day he stood up and simply stepped off and vanished into the unrelenting crashing waves, and his body was lost amongst the unforgiven waves. He has been seen several times by visitors to the area. People claim they've seen him from the corner of their eye as they explore the rocks and caves in the area. An old man jump into the sea and vanish. Alarmed people have ran over to help him, just be greeted by the ferocity of the sea as it battles the Pembrokeshire Coast for eternity. Did the old man find peace and is in the arms of the woman he loved? Has he been cursed for taking his own life by having to reenact his final moments over and over till the world is no more? We have no evidence this happened, but people claim to see his ghostly reenactment. I'll let you decide. St. Govans is an incredible place to visit with so much in the area, including a spectacular coastline, a World War I bunker, a huntsman's leap and a firing range, to name just a few. And next time the Paranormal Chronicles ventures down, we will bring you along with us for more adventure and mystery. It is a mysterious place entrenched into the fabric of Welsh culture. Wherever you live in the world, make it on your to-do list to visit this incredible Pembrokeshire location, a location unique and beautiful, a place where myth and legend become one amongst a chorus of crashing waves. There we have it. I hope you've enjoyed this journey into our ancient past. Issue 3 of our free digital magazine is out June 15th, and we will have all our pictures from our amazing St. Govans adventure in it. Visit www.theparanormalchronicles.com/magazine to read your free magazine. There's no sign up, no subscription, no nonsense. Just dozens of paranormal and spiritual articles for you to read. Issue 1 has a look at the house from haunted horror of Haverfordwest, and in issue 2 a special feature on the Owlman of Haverfordwest. With thousands of readers enjoying this free knowledge, go and have a read at www.theparanormalchronicles.com/magazine. Follow for a chance to win amazing books so you never miss an episode, and go through the archive. There is so much content there that you cannot hear anywhere else. Go and have a listen. I want to leave you with this. I talked tonight about an old couple and the effects of grief, and I want you to know that your life is very important. I have suffered greatly through loss and grief, through mental health and suicidal depression. I need you to know that you're important and people care about you. If you're feeling the pain of loss and grief, and know that there are people out there you can contact, call or text, and they will support you. They will help you. Just know you're amazing and your life makes a real difference. Sleep well.